Welcome to episode number 9. Thanks for tuning in, and to all you repeat viewers, I just want to congratulate Mike Lowe. He got his shirt sent out to him yesterday for his comment about enjoying the video and some good advice as to what I can be doing differently to keep him more engaged in watching the show. Thank you very much, Mike. Your shirt's on its way. For the rest of you, like, comment, subscribe. It really does help out, and it's changing the way I'm filming things and changing the way I'm producing stuff. So it all goes to making better content. So today we get the pedals all put back together, cleaned up, back in the car, and then I put the beam back together again. You'll see it back there. It's in a partial state of repair. And you guys can watch me wrestle with the torsion bars, which is really a terrible thing. They're awful. All right, so I had to decide if I'm going to be a talking while I'm filming guy or talking in the background guy doing a voiceover, and I think I'm a voiceover guy. It actually makes more sense to me. So here I'm cleaning out all the little bits for the pedals that need where the paint has gone in, and there's greasing areas in there and whatever else. And you know, it's any opportunity to use a knife, right? So I clean these things up. I have this set on fast forward, so I look like I'm really moving quickly because I'm not on caffeine. I'm just double the speed of my video take. But you know what? There's a lot of fine parts here that need to be gone over. So I go over those things, and I really love sanding and using a knife and not cutting myself. There's everything all cleaned up, ready to go. You see, look at those edges. Look at those edges. You kidding me? That's amazing. That's German engineering with a Dutch flair. Okay, so I start to put this guy back together again. That's the shaft that goes through, and that's actually the shaft that works the clutch cable. So it's the first of 3 different pedals that fit on there. There's a spring, which never really came out that clean. It was always kind of messy. This goes on. This is the actual brake pedal, because the clutch pedal, it's actually the last one that goes on. If you drive a standard in North America, you realize that the clutch is to the furthest left. So we put all this stuff back together again. I found these pliers for that little pin, or that, whatever you want to call it, that split thing. It's been like years since I found that thing, but it all goes together quite well. Here we go. I'm just trying to drag this out a bit more, because what I found here was that pin, once you hammer it on, it doesn't quite fit right. So you can hammer it like it owes you money. I know, I use that line again, but you can hammer it like that, but the holes don't line up where the pin goes through. So what you'll find, or what I've found, is I have to do a little correction. So I had to knock the whole thing backwards to make the hole line up. It's like an eccentric pin, so you have to sort of knock it back, and now all of a sudden the pin lines up. And wait for it. This is where it's funny. I got these fancy punches. I punch through there, and it's working great. Oh, punch too far. Keep going. Keep going. Punch again. I think I did this 6 times. With the miracle of editing, I made that go away. So the brake, to work the brake cylinder, the master cylinder, there's a whole little pin that goes in here, and it has a little cover that goes over top of it. They don't use lock washers or nylocks on these cars. They use these little metal guys that sort of fold over the bolt to keep them from backing off. So it's kind of cool. It's like first generation lock nuts. Here I am fumbling with this. This, if you don't know much about these, this whole pedal system here, it's a bit like a squid. I actually looked up the word for squid in German. I can't remember what it was, but it's funny. Anyways, I would call it a frickin' squid. Frickin' is, well, look it up. But that's the whole, see? That's my new signature now, the whole thumbs up thing. Anyways, this is the whole group of pedals all together. And what I found was there's a little grease nipple on here that lubricates the whole thing. And it was painted, and it wasn't actually doing its job. So I thought, you know what? Let's take it off, and there it is. And we will clean it up and put it back on. There it is. Oh, no, sorry, that's me cleaning all the grease and junk out of that whole little grease gallery there. Again, there's paint on everything. Bill, much to his own failing, is an incredible painter, but he's just not much of a masker, so we say. So I'm putting the cables back in now. This is the clutch cable and the throttle cable. What I didn't realize when I did this the first time was that I put a pull string in so I could pull the clutch cable through. You don't need that because there's a large bit of ballast on the end, about 4 inches long, this little tube, and it fits right easily into where the clutch cable goes through, and they both feed out the other end quite easily. This is my grommet, the first grommet going back on this project, and look at it go. My word. That's the throttle cable there. What a wonderful day. This is like flying a flag. Dun, da, da, da. And wait for it. We're grommeting. Wait for it. Hurry up. It's taking too long. It's taking way too long. And there you go. The thumbs up. There's all the parts going in the front for the brakes. This is phase 2, I would say, of the rebuild. I've got the accelerator there and all the other things. That's the part that I had to tear off the old floor to hold the actual accelerator pedal. There's been some discussion about whether we go with the ball pedal or that pedal. I don't really care. I have all the parts though. So here we are with the squid. Again, I'll try and find out what the name of that squid is because it's kind of funny actually when you think about it. It does look like a squid. So I'm putting it all back together again. Now, inside that little cavity in there is where the clutch cable comes through. So you have to line that all up, put it in place, and then tighten these things up. And again, Milwaukee Tools doing great work. Look at that thing go. Amazing. All right, there's the throttle cable there just off to the right. So we come through, and there is the master cylinder, and there's that's the push rod. That's what she said. And that goes through and it injects, never mind, it works anyways with the master cylinder. And again, I want to use the Loctite because I'm not planning on taking these bolts off anytime soon. And Milwaukee, boom, boom. That's it. That's nice. All right, all done. So the worst part of the day was taking these brakes apart. They have not been apart for, I think, 227 years. So they were really rusty and really awful. So I went through and hit them all with a brake cleaner and whatever else, just to knock down the dust. Actually, it's apparently very bad for you. So we knocked all that down, tried to loosen up what we could loosen up. They were seized completely in some cases. And again, there's a tool for this, and that tool is not lineman pliers, but they were requiring lineman pliers. So the brake shoes came off. Again, they're completely thrashed. Again, I used my little lineman hammer there, but taking everything apart to get back to this. So there's what we actually need to mount all of our new brakes. Now I have brand new brake everything to go with this car. So this is all I need, and we'll sandblast those things and get it back to normal again. And we can mount all new parts to them. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. I'm Dutch, we clean things. That's what we do. I'm going to scrape and clean. It's actually one of the few things that Bill and I have in common. We both like cleaning things. So there's the actual front beam. So these are the, what do you call them? The, help me here. Help me. 1, 2, 3 torsion rods. So there's like 8 rods there, and they all stuck together with grease, and they form a square. That square should line up perfectly with the square inside there because there's a couple of pins that hold the whole thing in place. What I found after 15 agonizing minutes of awfulness was that they don't actually align that easily. And this was the better part of, well, it would have been about 3 beers, I think, if I was to sit and have a beer and do it. But I tried from the other side, and dun, da, la, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, hurry up please, there it goes. And I did the same thing with the bottom. The bottom was a whole different monster. For some reason, it was hard to get out when we actually took the thing apart in the first place. So it wasn't any more pleasant coming together again. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in again today for episode 9. This is really coming along, and I'm almost at 25% of my number of videos to get some feeds on YouTube. So hopefully I'll come up in people's searches probably in about 2 months' time, which would be kind of exciting. So here we got done today, pretty good. I still have this little guy to get attached here, and then I have to figure out this whole thing here. I completely forgot about that part, if I'm being honest. That's that little connector that goes to the accelerator. So, all in all, a pretty productive day. I'll call it a day, but it's actually been about 5 or 6 days, but I'm just gonna call it a day, and that's how we'll refer to this from this point forward. But I hope you're enjoying following along, and again, please comment, subscribe. It really helps out with my content and how you guys wanna see things and that kind of stuff. So anyways, thanks for tuning in, and see you for episode 10.